This message is not for everyone. This is not for the young who think time is unlimited. This is not for those who believe life is only about speed and success. This message is for the man who has lived long enough to feel tired, who has carried responsibility for decades, who has sacrificed quietly, without applause. If you are between 40 and 65, and sometimes you sit alone thinking, "Is this all my life is going to be?" Then listen carefully. Because today, I am not reminding you of what you lost. Today, I am reminding you of what is coming. God says, your last days will be greater than your first days. Not louder, not easier, but greater. There comes a season in a man's life when strength is no longer measured by muscles, but by endurance. You wake up one day and realize your body doesn't recover the way it used to. Your dreams don't feel as loud as before. Your responsibilities feel heavier. You've worked hard. You've provided. You've stayed when walking away would have been easier. And yet, life didn't turn out exactly the way you imagined. Some plans failed. Some people disappointed you. Some prayers felt unanswered. And quietly, deep inside, a thought begins to whisper, "Maybe my best days are behind me." God says, that thought did not come from me. There was a man named Job. He was not careless. He was not wicked. He was not lazy. Job was faithful, honest, God-fearing. He had wealth. He had respect. He had family. He had influence. In today's language, Job had what many men dream of: stability, honor, security. And then, everything collapsed. Not slowly. Not one problem at a time. Everything, at once. Job lost his wealth. Job lost his servants. Job lost his children. Job lost his health. In one season, his life went from fullness to ashes. People who once admired him now avoided him. People who once praised him now questioned him. And the hardest part? Job did nothing to deserve it. That is the kind of pain that confuses the soul. Because suffering makes more sense when you believe you caused it. But suffering without reason breaks something deeper. Job sat in silence. No speeches. No motivational quotes. No fake strength. Just a man trying to understand God. His friends came. But instead of comfort, they brought accusations. They said, "Something must be wrong with you. You must have sinned. You must have failed God." And many men today hear the same voices, not always from others, sometimes from inside. You should have done better. You wasted your prime years. You failed your family. You missed your chance. God says, I hear the accusations you don't speak out loud. One of the hardest tests is not pain, it is silence. Job prayed. Job questioned. Job cried out. But heaven was quiet. And many men between 40 and 65 know the silence well. You've prayed for years. You've waited patiently. You've stayed faithful. Yet answers feel delayed. And you wonder, God, do you still see me? God says, my silence is not my absence. Job said something powerful. He said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. That is not the faith of a beginner. That is not emotional faith. That is mature faith. Faith that remains, even when blessings disappear. Faith that trusts God's character more than God's gifts. This is the kind of faith that only comes after years of living. Job did not know what was happening in the spiritual realm. He did not know that God was proving something through his life. Sometimes God allows loss, not to destroy you, but to prepare you. Because what is coming requires depth, not speed. Requires wisdom, not noise. God says, I am not done with you because you are older. I am trusting you because you are wiser. After seasons of pain, after questions, after endurance, God spoke. Not to explain everything, not to apologize, but to remind Job, who was in control. And when God restored Job, he did something unexpected. The Bible says, "The Lord blessed the latter days of Job more than his beginning." Not equal, not similar, more. Job received double. More wisdom, more peace, more honor. His first days were good, but his last days were greater. You may feel like Job right now. You've lost time, lost energy, lost opportunities. But hear me clearly. God says, your value did not decrease with age. Your calling did not expire with disappointment. What you are entering now is not a decline. It is a deeper chapter. A chapter where you stop chasing approval and start walking in authority. In your younger years, you had strength. In your later years, you have understanding. You know pain. You know people. You know truth. God often uses men later in life because they are no longer driven by ego. They are driven by purpose. The world measures success by age. God measures fruit by timing. Abraham became a father late. Moses was called late. Job was restored late. Late does not mean finished. It means seasoned. If things feel slow right now, it is because God is refining you, removing pride, removing fear, removing dependency on people, so that when He lifts you again, you will stand firm. God says, do not call this season empty. Do not call yourself forgotten. Your last days will carry peace your first days never had, clarity your first days never had, authority your first days never had. Restoration doesn't always look like money. Sometimes it looks like peace. Sometimes it looks like respect. Sometimes it looks like wisdom that guides others. Job didn't just get things back. He became a testimony. Your story is not over. Heaven has not closed your file. What you are walking through now will one day help someone else survive. God says, when I restore, I do not always give you back the same life. I give you a better version of it. Job did not just receive back what he lost. He received more wisdom with his blessings. In his early days, he enjoyed success. In his later days, he understood purpose. And that difference changes everything. Your first days were full of ambition. Your last days will be full of direction. In your youth, you wanted to prove yourself. Now, you want peace. You no longer chase applause. You value quiet strength. God says, what you are becoming now is more valuable than who you were becoming then. Job after restoration was not the same Job as before loss. Pain matured him. Waiting strengthened him. He no longer feared losing things, because he had already survived losing everything. And that is a dangerous kind of strength. If you are still standing after everything you faced, you are stronger than you think. If disappointment didn't destroy your faith, you are stronger than you believe. If you still pray, even quietly, you are stronger than most. God says, I did not bring you this far to abandon you now. In the first half of life, you learn by making mistakes. In the second half, you learn by patience. Delay is not denial. Delay is alignment. God slows you down, so you don't rush into something that would cost you peace. Young men have energy. Older men have discernment. You can sense danger now. You can read people now. You understand silence now. These are not weaknesses. These are spiritual advantages. The Bible says Job had children again. But notice this. His daughters were named. That was unusual in that time. It shows honor. It shows value. It shows legacy. Job's latter days were about impact, not just income. What you say now matters. How you respond now matters. People are watching how you handle pressure. loss, and waiting. Your calm in storms teaches more than words ever could. In your younger days, you led with force. Now, you lead with wisdom. You no longer need to dominate. You inspire through example. Job didn't preach sermons. His life preached for him. Some men rise early. Some rise later. Comparison kills peace. Job didn't compare his life to anyone else's. He trusted God's timing, even when he didn't understand it. The enemy is not afraid of loud faith. He fears consistent faith. Faith that remains after disappointment. Faith that survives unanswered prayers. This is the faith Job had. This is the faith you are developing now. You may feel unnoticed, uncelebrated, unrecognized, but heaven keeps record. Every sacrifice, every tear, every silent prayer. God says, I have not forgotten your obedience. Job did not know. His breakthrough was close. Most people quit right before restoration. You are closer than you think. Do not give up now. People will listen to you differently now. Not because of position, but because of experience. Your words will carry weight. Because they come from survival, not theory. The chapters you thought were failures will become testimonies. What hurt you will help others. What broke you will bless others. God says, stop calling this season punishment. It is preparation. I am shaping you for influence that only mature hearts can handle. More than wealth. Job received peace with God. No fear of loss. No anxiety about tomorrow. Peace is the highest blessing. These years are not about proving. They are about fulfilling. Your value is not behind you. It is unfolding. God says, there comes a time in a man's life when strength is no longer in the hands, but in the heart. Earlier you fought with force. Now you endure with patience. You may not lift as much as before, but you carry more inside you. Job's strength in his latter days was not his body. It was his trust in me. And that kind of strength never grows old. Pain can either harden a man or refine him. Job allowed pain to deepen his faith, not poison it. Many men carry silent pain, regret, rejection, missed chances. God says, if pain did not destroy you, it qualified you. What tried to break you actually prepared you for what is coming next. God does not give deep responsibility to shallow hearts. In your younger days, you wanted blessings. Now, you understand responsibility. Job could handle double blessings because he had walked through loss. God says, I trust you now because you know the cost of obedience. The outer life may feel slower now. Fewer people, less noise, more silence. But inside, God is accelerating growth. Wisdom grows quietly. Faith deepens silently. Job didn't change overnight. He matured through seasons. Waiting teaches lessons that success never can. Waiting humbles pride. Waiting strengthens character. Job waited without answers, yet he stayed faithful. Many blessings are delayed because they require a man who will not misuse them. Some men say, if only I had done better. But Job's story proves something powerful. Perfection was never the requirement. Faithfulness was. God says, I am not rewriting your past. I am redeeming it. Pride destroys faster than failure. Job's suffering removed pride, not dignity. After humility comes honor. God lifts those who no longer need to be lifted. You may not realize it, but your presence matters. Your silence speaks. Your calm teaches. Younger people watch how you handle disappointment. Job didn't preach. He demonstrated faith. The enemy only attacks what still carries destiny. Job was attacked because his life still mattered. God says, If you were finished, you wouldn't be fighting. Earlier, success mattered more. Now, peace matters more. This shift is not weakness. It is wisdom. Job gained peace. That success alone could never give. You sense things quicker now. You know when to speak and when to stay silent. This is discernment. God sharpens this gift. In the latter days, not every blessing is visible. Some blessings come as rest. Some come as clarity. Some come as closure. Job's greatest blessing was not wealth. It was alignment with God. Your life is becoming a lesson. Your endurance teaches patience. Your faith teaches trust. Job's testimony outlived his pain. Broken men depend on God. Proud men depend on themselves. Job's brokenness became his strength. God says, I can trust broken men with great responsibility. Earlier, life happened fast. Now, life is deliberate. You choose carefully. You speak thoughtfully. This intentional living is where true impact begins. Stop saying, I am late. Job was not late. He was aligned with God's timing. God says, timing matters more than speed. You no longer need signs. You no longer need constant reassurance. Your faith is settled. This is mature faith. This is job-level faith. Consistency outlasts talent. You stayed. You endured. You remained faithful. God honors consistency. Influence does not come with noise. It comes with credibility. Your survival gives you credibility. People listen to those who have walked through fire. This chapter is not about speed, not about proving. It is about depth, deep faith, deep peace, deep understanding. God says, do not close the book while I am still writing. Your latter days will reveal my faithfulness. Sometimes I remove what you once depended on, so you can discover who you were always meant to depend on. Job lost wealth, status, and security, not because they were evil, but because they were temporary. What remained was faith, and faith is unshakable. A man who has never lost is easily afraid, but a man who has survived loss knows this truth. Nothing can truly destroy him unless he gives up inside. Job feared God, not circumstances. That is real freedom. As you grow older, your circle gets smaller. Less noise, less pretending, more truth. Job sat alone for a season, but that loneliness prepared him for clarity. God says, I remove crowds to protect your focus. Earlier, you explained yourself. Now, you remain silent. Silence is not weakness. It is control. Job spoke only when it mattered. Mature men do not waste words. Success builds reputation. Legacy builds generations. Job's latter days were not about accumulation. They were about inheritance. What you pass on now matters more than what you gain. Painful assignments are not punishment. They are proof of trust. God did not test Job because he was weak, but because he was strong. God says, I trust you with weight others cannot carry. Your faith is no longer loud. You don't announce prayers. You don't chase validation. Your faith lives quietly, deep and rooted. Job didn't perform faith. He lived it. What you wanted at 25 is not what you want now. God refines desires as He refines character. Now you want peace, truth, and alignment. This is growth. Delay is protection in disguise. Some things, if given earlier, would have destroyed you. Job received restoration when he could handle it. God says, I delay to protect what I promise. Offense wastes energy. Now, you choose peace. Job ignored accusations because he knew who he was. This confidence comes with maturity. Storms don't destroy deep roots. Your faith is rooted now. Job was shaken, but never uprooted. God says, what is rooted will remain. Your scars tell stories. Your words never could. People trust men who have been wounded and healed. Job's scars became his credibility. You no longer force things. You wait. You discern. You align. Alignment brings peace. That effort never could. Temporary losses no longer define you. Eternal truth does. Job learned to see beyond the moment. This perspective brings stability. Authority is earned through endurance. You stayed faithful when it was uncomfortable. Now your words carry weight. People listen because you survived. God does not patch old foundations. He rebuilds. Job's latter life was stronger than his former life. What I build now will last. Your presence calms others. Your words steady others. You have become a shelter, not because you are perfect, but because you are proven. Untested faith is fragile. Tested faith is priceless. Job's faith passed through fire. So has yours. Blessing often comes when expectation is low. Job was restored when he least imagined it. Stay ready. And now, listen carefully. What you are walking through is not random. It is not wasted time. It is not the end of your story. You may feel slower than before, quieter than before, less noticed than before. But depth is being formed in you. The early years were about building. These years are about becoming. You are no longer chasing life. Life is aligning with purpose. Just like Job, your restoration will not come to impress people. It will come to fulfill you. What returns to you will carry peace. What is added to you will carry wisdom. What remains with you will carry meaning. Do not measure your life by what you lost. Measure it by what you survived. The years ahead will not be empty years. They will be intentional years. Quiet years. Strong years. You are not being set aside. You are being set apart. And when you look back one day, you will understand. The latter days were not just better. They were greater.